I scored 580, and she scored 590. I jumped to 600, and she instantly got 610. Her score was always exactly 10 points higher than mine, but the second I skipped an exam, her score would completely fall apart. That's when my theory got confirmed, and from that point on, I came up with a crazy plan. If I scored above 740 on the Gaokao, what would her score look like? So before the Gaokao, I buried myself in studying every day. Meanwhile, my sister Zhang Muyao was sure that as long as she had me, she had nothing to worry about. She even stopped studying and just went out having fun with her friends. Every time the teachers or our parents caught her, she'd snap and swear, "Stop nagging me, I'll still come out on top in the Gaokao." And I didn't let her down. Every mock exam, I kept her locked in at number 1 in the grade. She really thought she had it in the bag, while I was secretly pushing myself closer and closer to 741. The night before the Gaokao, Zhang Muyao was still partying at a bar, already celebrating her glorious future. I, on the other hand, went to bed early so I could be ready. The next morning, when I got to the test site, I took a deep breath. I knew this was my one shot to leave Zhang Muyao behind. Sitting in that exam room, I felt luckier than ever. All those days of grinding and practice questions had paid off. When I saw the questions, they felt familiar. Every step of every solution came to me clearly. As long as nothing went wrong, this score was going to give Zhang Muyao one huge surprise. As soon as we got out of the exam hall, Zhang Muyao came straight to me and asked anxiously, "So, how'd you do?" "Great. Better than ever. I've got the provincial top score locked up." The second Zhang Muyao heard that, she was thrilled and ran off to tell our parents. I watched her walk away and I couldn't help smiling. Let her be happy for a few more days. Soon enough, she'd know what it felt like to crash from the clouds into the mud. After the Gaokao, Zhang Muyao bragged to our parents that she'd definitely rank first in school, and she even got a bunch of spending money from them in advance. She upgraded all her electronics and even took that money on a trip out of town with her boyfriend. But when I asked for money to visit my grandparents back home, they flat out refused. "It's not a holiday, why go? Can you stop wasting our money for once?" They wouldn't give me a dime, but they'd throw money around for Zhang Muyao. That was when I finally gave up on my parents. So I just went out and worked, little by little, until I saved enough for the trip. The day the Gaokao scores came out happened to be Zhang Muyao's 18th birthday. So she invited all our relatives and friends and threw this lavish party so everyone could watch her rise to the top. At her coming-of-age party, relatives and co-workers kept flattering my parents. "Oh, Zhang, your family is really blessed. Both of your kids turned out so impressive." Ha ha ha. Well, sure. But my younger son is only decent at studying. He's not filial at all. My little princess, though, not only gets better grades than him, she's way more sensible too. My dad praised Zhang Muyao while putting me down every chance he got. And the younger crowd kept swarming around Zhang Muyao, hyping her up. "Muyao, you seriously have it all. A Tsinghua or Peking University acceptance in one hand, and a rich, handsome boyfriend on the other. You're basically winning at life. Sis Muyao, when do the scores come out? We want to see you check them live and witness history." Zhang Muyao stood in the middle of the crowd, soaking up all the attention. "Relax. If you're top in the province, the admissions offices at Tsinghua and Peking University call early to fight over you." And sure enough, a phone started ringing. But it wasn't for her, it was for me. While everyone stood there stunned, I answered one admissions call after another. "Tsinghua, Peking University, Huaking." I politely responded as these schools offered huge rewards to recruit me. Zhang Muyao looked like her eyes were about to pop out, but her phone still never rang. Trying to act calm, she said, "The best always comes last." Then it was finally time to check the scores. Everyone rushed Zhang Muyao to log in, and I opened the score portal too. Even though I'd already compared my answers and was somewhat prepared, when the moment actually came, my hands still started sweating. My dad asked me first, sounding casual and completely indifferent, "How many points did you get?" I held up my phone screen for everyone to see and said without any emotion, 741. The whole room exploded. I stayed calm on the outside, but inside I was overwhelmed. I did it. I really did it. But my dad only gave a stingy little nod, then turned right around to ask Zhang Muyao. She was surrounded by people when she checked her score. The second she saw what was on her screen, she looked completely stunned. There it was on the screen in bright red numbers, 751. Zhang Muyao's voice was shaking when she spoke, and everyone around her went dead silent. One clueless relative nearby still chimed in, "Wow, Muyao really is better than her little brother, a full 10 points higher." Then one uncle in the crowd cautiously spoke up, "Wait, if I remember right, isn't the maximum score only 750? The second he said that, beads of sweat started rolling down Zhang Muyao's face, and panic crept into her voice. "There must be too many people checking right now." The system glitched. "Let me refresh it." Zhang Muyao refreshed the page like crazy, but no matter how hard she swiped, the total was still 751 every single time. "How is that possible? How?" One of her friends tried to comfort her. "Maybe your phone's messed up. Why don't you try checking on somebody else's?" Zhang Muyao snatched other people's phones one after another like she was losing her mind, but every result was the same. Those 3 bright red digits, 751, felt like nails being driven straight into her chest. Right then, the banquet hall doors swung open, and several police officers and education bureau staff walked in looking dead serious. Sorry to interrupt. Who is Zhang Muyao? The examination authority detected an extremely abnormal score under her name. She may be involved in tampering with the exam system or cheating, and she needs to come with us for questioning. Zhang Muyao went pale and backed away. My parents were terrified too, but there was no way they were about to let their precious daughter be taken away. In the middle of the chaos, my mother actually shoved me forward and pointed at me, yelling, "He did it! He hacked the system and changed Zhang Muyao's score. Officer, arrest him! This has nothing to do with my daughter!" Once again, my parents threw me out as the shield without a second thought, even though the logic made no sense and the excuse was ridiculous. But if sacrificing me could protect their precious daughter, then what was I to them anyway? At that point, my heart was completely dead. Weirdly enough, I felt lighter. I looked at my parents' fake faces with ice in my eyes. Then I turned and pointed to Zhang Muyao hiding in the corner. There she is. She's the one who got 751 on the Gaokao. When my father heard that, he lunged at me in a rage, trying to hit me, but I grabbed his wrist hard enough to make him freeze. Go ahead. Hit me. The police are right here. Lay a hand on me and I'll report you for domestic abuse. From that moment on, nobody could control me anymore, and nobody was ever going to bully me again. Then I threw off his hand and walked out of the banquet hall. The coming-of-age party that was supposed to celebrate her rise to the top had turned into a complete circus. Zhang Muyao was taken away for investigation, leaving nothing but chaos behind. News of Zhang Muyao scoring 751 spread all over the internet. That ridiculous number blew up online, and the whole internet started laughing at her. I'm dead. If you're gonna cheat, at least use your brain. The max is 750 and you got 751? Are you insulting the graders or the scoring system? Almost everyone online piled onto Zhang Muyao. They all thought she'd pulled strings to change her score and somehow messed it up into 751. The investigation results came back fast. There was a problem with Zhang Muyao's answer sheet. Somehow her multiple choice section got scanned with 1 extra point. As for why, probably only she knows. Even though there was no direct proof that she tampered with the answer sheet, that score was no longer valid. To keep things fair, the exam board decided to make her retake the test with a backup paper. When she heard she had to retake it, Zhang Muyao cried and made a scene, insisting that I had to retake it with her. No, I want my brother there too. I want him sitting right next to me. That ridiculous demand was obviously rejected by the Education Bureau. In the end, Zhang Muyao had to retake it alone, and just like I expected, she bombed it. She went from 751 to 157. It was even worse than the score she used to get by blindly guessing. Honestly, it would have been weird if she'd done well. She only had a 300-point foundation to begin with. She thought having me meant she was safe, so she hadn't studied at all for the past half semester. The second she had to rely on herself, she got exposed instantly. That absurd score only made the cheating suspicions worse, and public opinion shoved her straight into the storm. I'm crying. 751 turned into 157? That's way too big of a gap. Doesn't that basically prove the 741 was fake? Zhang Muyao couldn't handle the backlash, so she tried posting her report cards from the second half of senior year to prove she hadn't cheated. But people dug up her older grades too, and aside from that stretch in senior year when her scores suddenly shot up, she'd always been a total mess academically, hovering around 300 the whole time. So everyone started questioning those second semester senior year scores and figured she was really just a 200 to 300 point student who only improved that fast because she cheated. Then people dug up my relationship with Zhang Muyao and posted my report cards from the past few years. I had never scored below 650. See? That's what a real top student looks like. From freshman year to senior year, never once dropping out of the top 3. So they're actually siblings? How is the gap this huge? One scoring over 700 and the other is barely at 250 level. The classmates who used to crowd around Zhang Muyao now treated her like a rat in the street. Even my parents got judged everywhere they went, and the teachers who used to favor her wanted nothing to do with her anymore. Everyone thought she'd disgraced the school. For a while, Zhang Muyao hid at home and refused to go out. Meanwhile, I'd already gotten my acceptance letter from the medical school at Tsinghua or Peking University, and I had gone back to my hometown to stay with my grandma. All I had to do was wait until late August to start college. At that point, I was finally going to leave that disgusting place behind for good. But in mid-August, my dad suddenly called and said my mom was seriously ill and might not make it, and told me to come home right away. My heart skipped a beat. I hated them, sure, but she was still my mother. But when I rushed home overnight, I found out she wasn't sick at all. She was just sitting on the couch, casually drinking tea. That was when my father finally walked out of the bedroom. I looked at him warily. Didn't you say mom was seriously sick? No, we just missed you. So we made up an excuse to get you back. And your sister missed you too. She's been in a bad mood lately. You're her little brother. You should be more understanding. For once, my father wasn't acting all high and mighty. If anything, he sounded almost flattering. The weirder they acted, the more uneasy I felt. So before going to sleep that night, I made sure to be careful and turned on my phone's video recording mode. Then I hid it on the table, aimed straight at the door. And sure enough, in the middle of the night, they really did sneak into my room, go through my bag, and take out my college acceptance letter and my ID card. I jumped up, slapped the light on, and demanded, "What do you think you're doing?" They got caught red-handed, so my parents stopped pretending. Jiang Jingren, we already